Hey, what's up? It's me, Jermaine, and today I'm going to do a video review for the Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and Part 2. As you can see here, I have the Dark Knight Returns Part 1, and also have the Dark Knight Returns Part 2. And both of these films, they were basically they were based on the Frank Miller comic, The Dark Knight Returns, Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. So basically, this was just a film adaptation of that comic that they already did the year one, which I already gave a review of. Previously they did like a film adaptation of Batman Year One, which was also based on a Frank Miller graphic novel. So these here, I'm going to do the reviews for Batman: The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and Part 2, which were both very entertaining films. Okay. So I'll start with the Dark Knight Returns Part 1 first. Now in this film, it's about an aging Bruce Wayne who returns to the role of Batman after a 10-year hiatus. So he basically was not Batman for 10 years in Gotham City, and this happened because of the tragedy with Jason Todd, and I think from him like aging it himself, period. So that's why he retired from the role of Batman for like 10 years. And once he does this, crime in Gotham City, like there's like a gang called the Mutants, and they overtake like Gotham City. Well, they don't really overtake it, but they cause like a high crime rate, like a high crime rate in Gotham City. And the Mutants also have like a leader known as the Mutant Leader. So what I'm saying, he leads the mutants or whatever, because he kind of has like a deformed like mouth with these like sharp teeth. Now, like I said, he's a cool looking like character or whatever. But also in this story though, what brings like Batman, Bruce Wayne back to the role of Batman is like the gangs, like the gang crime, like the crimes by the gangs known as the Mutants. And then plus he continues to have flashbacks of his parents' death, based on his parents, like his parents were murdered like when he was a child. So that brings him back into the role of being Batman after 10 years. And plus he's like aged, so he's like real old in the film. There's also like a Commissioner Gordon who is like planning on like retiring, like he's like retiring from being like commissioner of the city or whatever, Gotham City. So he's planning on like retiring or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like they had like a little story with that going on, at the same time. And also at the same time, the Joker, he's in this film too, but he's like in a catatonic state where he can't speak or say anything, but he's still like locked up in Arkham Asylum. But he doesn't like say anything or anything, he's like quiet because he's like something happened to him, because when Batman like left Gotham, like went away, like Bruce Wayne went away as Batman, that's when it's supposed to have happened to the Joker. He went into a catatonic state. You know what I'm saying? So he's actually locked up in Arkham Asylum. He doesn't speak or say anything. He's real quiet. They have to feed him, like force feed him and stuff, So that was kind of like interesting or whatever. Also in this film is like another bad villain too, Harvey Dent, Two-Face. Now in this film, Harvey gets like plastic surgery done on his face or whatever, and then he is released from Arkham Asylum. And then everybody thought, well, not everybody didn't really say this, like, you know what I'm saying? Because like they have like newscaster moments, which are cool too, where they like discuss like the crimes and stuff like that within the city or whatever, But he doesn't break out, but when he's released from prison, he threatens to blow up a building unless he gets a ransom. And this draws Batman further back into action, and he takes, and he has to confront Two-Face about what happened, because you can kind of figure that Two-Face wouldn't reconcile, he wouldn't stay like on the good side, he probably went back to like crimes or whatever, But yeah, the film also introduces like a teenage girl known as Carrie Kelly, and she is rescued by Batman like throughout the film. Sometime throughout the film, she is rescued, and after this rescue, she dons like the Robin costume, which is worn by like Dick Grayson and Jason Todd. So she becomes like the new Robin. you know, with Batman. So she teams like with Batman, you know, like like the fight crime, whatever. Like you know, like some moments or whatever. But it's pretty like nice. But anyway, the mutants are overtaking Gotham City, and then Batman has to have a confrontation with the leader, who is the boss of the group. So you know what I'm saying? It's like a nice little film, you know. And Peter Weller, the guy who played, you know, like the RoboCop films, he was in the first and second RoboCop. He does the voice of Batman in these films, and I thought he did like a good job. I like how he has like a deep like tone, like voice, like I'm saying, it was like real like deep, you know, like real like manly or whatever. I thought that was kind of like cool how they had him like portray his voice. I'm very used to like, you know, Kevin Conroy, you know, people like that doing like the Batman voice, Batman Bruce Wayne voice in animated form. But Peter Weller does his voice in the Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and Part 2. And he does a good job because like I mentioned before, he has like a deep voice for the character, and I thought that was kind of cool, you know, it kind of fit like the Batman persona and Bruce Wayne, you know. So I thought that was kind of like cool. Okay, then you have also in this film there's like a big major, there's a couple of major fight sequences, like the major fight sequence between Batman and the leader, the mutant leader, towards kind of the end of the film, which I thought was like pretty cool. You know, then plus like I like the use of like something like the Batman gadgets they had, like the bat rope. You know what I'm saying? I'm so used to seeing like, you know, I kind of grew up on the bat grapple, you know, the gun thing that Batman shoots and it shoots up, because it debuted in the '89 film version, the Batman Tim Burton film. That's when they debuted the bat grapple. But in these films, like the animated, these were more closely like to the comic, with Batman using like the bat rope, which is kind of cool, you know, because he has like a batarang wrapped on the rope, and he uses it like to swing or like to pull enemies and fight and stuff. So I thought that was kind of like, that was kind of cool, and I knew that was kind of more closer to the comic. I'm very used to like the bat grapple itself, but this film was very entertaining, and it was like, you know, it had like some cool, the colors and stuff on it, you know, like the animation I thought was real good in this film, like very beautiful. And this was the first part, so it, you know what I'm saying, it leaves you thirsting the second part, because it ends like on a cliffhanger like level, like with like a scene featuring the Joker or whatever. I don't want to spoil it if you've never seen it, you know what I'm saying, and it leads you into wanting to see the second part of this film. And also in this film, it was very entertaining. I really did enjoy this a lot. And I have never read the Frank Miller comic, the Frank Miller graphic novel. I have never read that. And I was saying it was kind of fun seeing like a film adaptation of that. And I was saying I thought this was real cool. And I plan on reading the comic eventually. Even like the Year One comic, I never did read those two. But this was a very good film adaptation of the graphic novel, you know. And also, like, I have the Blu-ray version of this, and these also came with like I'm not going to really touch on that too much because those were only at Best Buy. They came with collectible figures, which I have missed, you know. But then this right here, this has like features on it called the Dark Knight Returns digital comic. There's a featurette based on Carrie Kelly, the new Robin, which is like she's a girl Robin, you know. So it's kind of cool. I thought she was kind of cool. Then they got Bob Kane. I mean, the Bob Kane story of Batman and Me. Now that was on, I think, the Batman films, like the anthology thing, like the DVD thing they did, like the 4 Bat films, like Batman, Batman Returns, Forever, and Robin. I think that featurette was on there, if I'm not mistaken. Plus they have like 2 bonus cartoons on here, like animated cartoons, and those are pretty fun too. But this film was like very entertaining, and I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. And it sets up like a good cliffhanger, keeping you like, you know, anticipating part 2 of this. And this is really good, and I enjoyed it. I thought this was a real fun film, you know what I'm saying? And I like how I thought Peter Weller did a good job as the voice of Bruce Wayne and Batman, because he has like such a deep voice. So I thought, you know, that was like cool the way it fit the persona. But like a lot of cool action sequences, like when Batman first come back, I mean Bruce Wayne first comes back into the role of Batman, you know, and he was like fighting some of the criminals, and you know what I'm saying, that was kind of cool, you know. He stopped a couple like robberies, he took out like this gang, and at this like a vacant like building. Then the police showed up and they saw that he was back, you know, which is kind of cool. And in this film, he has on like the more traditional bat symbol, like I have on my shirt, that I'm more, you know, that I'm kind of more familiar with and grew up with that era. You know what I'm saying? In this version he does. But yeah, it was like pretty good, you know. I would recommend watching this. And now I'm going to touch on the second part of this. Okay, hey there. I'm back again. This is gonna be the review of Batman: The Dark Knight Returns Part 2, and this was the conclusion to like the film adaptation of Frank Miller's graphic novel. And this was like another film which was like very cool, you know. This was like a very cool film, you know. I enjoyed it a lot, you know. And it concludes the Dark Knight Returns film adaptation. And as you can see, like part 1, it had a cool cover. And I enjoyed part 1's cover a little more because as you can see, like Batman, you know, and it's like lightning in the background, you know. And stuff, his cape is flowing. He has a batarang right there in his hand too. As you can see, he got like a batarang. I thought this was a cool like cover right here. You know, on the back it had Carrie Kelly as, you know, Robin, the new Robin, you know, and you see like Batman over her or whatever, and you see like Bruce Wayne and stuff in the car. It was pretty, you know, pretty like a nice little cover. I thought this one was the best cover. Then you have now I'm on to part 2. And this one has like a orange kind of background. It looks cool with Batman like swinging in Gotham City. So it looks kind of cool, you know. And this in the background, you know, that looks kind of cool too. You know, you see him standing with the Bat robe, and you also can see like a Joker picture right there too. It's kind of hard to get there. Yeah, you can see like a Joker picture over there, right there. Yeah, it was nice. This was a nice, cool film. Oh yeah, Superman is also on the back too. I'm gonna touch on that too, which was kind of cool. I have always known about that too. But the now this film was very explosive. It had tons of like action sequences. Like it was like a special like excellent sequence, which was very cool. With between like Batman and the Joker. I didn't want to kind of spoil it. You know, if you never read the comic or you never seen the film, but Batman has like the final confrontation with the Joker. Now that was very cool. That was cool. And I also like the Joker in this film. The guy that did the Joker, I forgot his voice or whatever. He does a very good job on the Joker, like the Joker character. Because in this film, the Joker, after Batman returns to Gotham City, the Joker awakens from his catatonic state in Arkham Asylum. And then he convinces his psychologist to take him on a talk show, which he plans his escape at. So once he makes it to the talk show, the Joker kills everybody in the audience with it's like gas, like some kind of poison gas that comes in and kills the entire audience, you know. Then he escapes and he makes his way to like a fairground with Batman and him like have like a final confrontation. But I'm gonna go ahead and touch on all that. But this film, the second part, Batman: The Dark Knight Returns Part 2, was very, you know what I'm saying, it was very good. I enjoyed it a lot, you know. There's also like some special characters in this film too. Selena Kyle makes an appearance as like an age, you know, Selena Kyle, Catwoman. She makes an appearance as like as an aged woman. She has gained weight, and her and the Joker have like a little confrontation. That's kind of funny. It's serious, but you can't help but kind of like, you know, like laugh at it, you know. But then also the Green Arrow, Oliver Queen, he shows up in this film too. Towards the end to fight to help Bruce Wayne, Batman, like fight Superman, which was kind of like interesting, you know. And Alfred, he's also in these films too, and he's very aged. Like Alfred, he's like very old, because you know Bruce Wayne is supposed to like I think 55 they say, so Alfred is way much like older than him, you know. But like in this film, like the Batman, he has like a confrontation with the Joker at the fairground. It's like very explosive. It was cool. It was like a cool scene, like. I'm saying it was very like the Joker was relentless. I don't know if I ever seen him this violent. I know he like murders and kills people. I'm familiar with that. But in this film, it kind of, I don't think I ever seen like what he did in this right here. The Dark Knight Returns Part 2. The Joker kills tons of people. I ain't want to spoil it, but he kills like quite a few people in this film. And I was kind of, you know, like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? I know he kind of does that, but I don't think I ever seen it like that graphic. Yeah, and both of these films are, if I'm not mistaken, Yeah, they are PG-13 too. So that kind of gives, you know what I'm saying, that shows why, know what I'm saying? Yeah, why they are like PG-13. But yeah, it's like I said, like the covers, this was the cover I enjoyed the most. I thought it was the cooler one. So, as you can see. But yeah, the Batman and the Joker, they have like an explosive confrontation in this film. You know what I'm saying? It's like their final battle, so I don't want to give nothing away. You know what I'm saying? And then like towards the end, the biggest fight scene of the film is the fight scene between like Batman and Superman, which is like could be. And I knew about that. I know about all that from like the comics or whatever. But I've never like read like the film adaptation. I mean, I never read the comic, of that, like what a graphic novel story, But actually seeing it like on film, it was pretty cool, and it was like, whoa, it was explosive, because I would downright believe, that there's no question like Superman probably, you know what I'm saying, but when, because he has superpowers, Batman doesn't really have any like special powers or like superpowers or anything like that. So, you know what I'm saying, I would figure that, that Superman would have beaten him easy. But if you like looking at it from that point of view, like Superman was in Batman's world, so you know what I'm saying, Batman, I guess, would have beat him. You know what I'm saying? You look at it from that point of view, he would have beat him because Superman came into his world. I'm talking if you look at it from that point of view, but they have like a excellent like fight sequence towards the end of the film. It was very awesome. It was cool. A nice long battle, Cause Batman, he has to create this armor like while he's in the Batcave with like Alfred or whatever. He puts together like this special armor to fight, like to help himself to be able to withstand Superman and to be actually kind of up to Superman's standards. So like if Superman punching him and stuff like that, he can kind of handle the punches. You know what I'm saying? So I was saying they had like an explosive fight. You know what I'm saying? Like when they're fighting all around the city and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It was real. It was like it was cool. It was very cool seeing Batman and Superman have like a fight on screen. It was serious, and it was violent like Superman. Even Superman was bleeding and stuff. I remember, he bled a couple. At one moment he bled, but he can heal himself. Yeah, one moment he did, like he bled out his nose, and Batman had put out this sonar thing, like the sound wave thing, and I think he had did something to Superman in his nose bleed. But when Batman was fighting, he was bleeding, of course, a lot, because Batman's mortal, and Superman, he's really like a mortal almost. He's an alien. He's from the planet, Krypton, so he's actually like immortal, he's like an alien. So I'm saying, whereas Batman is like a mortal, just a normal human being. But yeah, because of the fact that Batman has returned to his vigilante ways in Gotham City, President Reagan, which I thought was kind of odd, and I guess that was like in the graphic novel by Frank Miller too. He ordered Superman to come and stop Batman from fighting crime. Because they're living in a world now where all the superheroes have been like disbanded or whatever. So like you got like Green Arrow and all them like that, they have been disbanded, whatever. But the Green Arrow does show up in this film to help Batman confront Superman towards the end. But he really doesn't do that much. I don't want to spoil it. He just, you know what I'm saying, he basically had an arrow that was made of kryptonite, and that's what kind of like help Batman confront Superman, like you know what I'm saying, get the upper hand in the battle. But I'm saying, the film was like it was very cool, But yeah, President Reagan, because it was at the time when Frank Miller did the novel. I think Ronald Reagan was the president back in the 80s. So at the time he did the graphic novel, The Dark Knight Returns, Ronald Reagan was the president at the time, I believe. 'Cause it was back in the 80s. So that's why Ronald Reagan was the president. So Ronald Reagan orders Superman to go out and take out Batman, and I think everyone knows Superman is Clark Kent too. I think it's like worldwide, and plus Superman is actually on America's side. He's actually fighting wars that take place like in like other countries and stuff, like this place called Corto Maltese, Corto something, like an island they was like fighting over. So Superman had to go there and like destroy ships or whatever, like beat up like their people. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was kind of odd too, because when you look at it from that point of view, Superman, it seemed like he was kind of evil almost. like he was the villain, but he was fighting for like a good cause. You know what I'm saying? He was fighting a war, and he was on America's side. You know, even though he's like based in Metropolis, he was still like on our side. So you know what I'm saying? It still seemed like he was kind of evil at times. You know what I'm saying? When he was doing that, because he was actually killing. He was killing like other. What I'm saying? I ain't gonna say really killing, but you know, I just do. I don't want to spoil it or whatever. But yeah, after Ronald Reagan orders him to go and take out Batman, because you know Clark knows that Batman is Bruce Wayne. The two have like a little meeting, you know, like outside. They got horses, like Bruce Wayne is like with his horse or whatever. And you can tell Bruce Wayne is like very old. He's so aged, whereas Clark Kent, he's not aged at all. You know, he still looks like young or whatever. You know, and Clark threatens him like, you know, Bruce, if you don't stop doing like the Batman, you know, doing that, I'll have to come here and stop you. You know, because of the president. So in the end, like but Superman, like the war that Superman was fighting causes like something in Gotham to happen, and Batman continues to do what he does, you know. And then that's when Superman decides to come and actually have a confrontation with Batman, and Batman has to build like this armor so he can withstand like Superman's like punches and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Or like the X-ray, all of Superman's powers, you know, you got flight and all that kind of stuff, you know. Which I always thought was kind of cool. But yeah, they had like an explosive confrontation, which was very fun. You know what I'm saying? It was fun. It was cool seeing them like two like fight. That was fun. That was tight. And also like the Joker sequence, like towards like the back at kind of the beginning of the film, kind of when the Joker confronts Batman. That was cool too. Like their final confrontation, that was explosive. That was a tight sequence. And I really enjoyed this film a lot. It had like some cool newscaster segments too. You know what I'm saying? They was expressing like they was talking about this and that, about like the violence in Gotham City and stuff like that. You know, I thought it was pretty cool. Now this Blu-ray, this has like feature. It has like a featurette called Superman versus Batman When Heroes Collide. Then it has like a featurette based on the Joker laughing in the face of death, and it has 3 bonus cartoons and a digital comic excerpt from the graphic novel The Dark Knight Falls by Frank Miller. Yeah, I think that was like another version, because he did like another one after these. He did The Dark Knight Strikes Again, and then like another one, I think. Yeah, it says The Dark Knight Falls. Now I know about The Dark Knight Strikes Again. I think The Dark Knight Strikes, or is it Strikes Again? I know about that one. But yeah, these were both very entertaining films, and they were like basically like a film adaptation of Frank Miller's graphic novel. You know what I'm saying? So you got The Dark Knight Returns Part 1. Then you got The Dark Knight Returns Part 2. And they had a cool cover. Now this is the cover I liked the most, which was Part 1. And I had the Blu-ray versions of these films. And both of these didn't come out at the same time. They released them apart. Like this one came out like towards the end of the year. I think in October, if I'm not mistaken. And this one came out like in the beginning of the year, like either January or February, I believe. But both of these, what I'm saying, they were very entertaining films, you know, especially when they got to the second one, Part 2, because this one was good too, like, you know what I'm saying, 'cause it was nice seeing Bruce Wayne being old and he's like aged, and he comes back into the role of Batman, you know, so it's cool seeing that. But when they got to this one, they had some explosive fight battles, like the one with Batman and the Joker, and then you had the one with Batman and Superman, which is very cool too, you know, that was cool. You know what I'm saying? That was a cool sequence as well. But yeah, I would highly recommend these, and these are my reviews for the film adaptation of Frank Miller's graphic novel Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. And they did the film adaptation. I guess it was the graphic novel itself was pretty long, because instead of them doing this in one film, they split it into 2 parts. So it was that long of a graphic novel, you know, because they have these split into 2 films. You know what I'm saying? But they're both only 76 minutes each, as you can see. It's 76 minutes. Both of them only 76 films. But I was noticing that a lot of the Batman animated films, a lot of them were just like 76 minutes. So I always thought that was kind of, I guess kind of odd, but you know what I'm saying. But yeah, these, like I'm saying, they have these split across the whole film adaptation of the graphic novel is split across 2 films. So you know what I'm saying. After you see this one, you would definitely want to see Part 2. And both of them were very entertaining. I really enjoyed these a lot. But like I told you, it was this one too, you know what I'm saying? Like the confrontation with the Joker, and then the Superman those were fun. And then plus there were like solo battles like with Batman, where he was just, you know what I'm saying, like whether he's fighting the police force or just like regular criminals. That was fun. I know he used the bat rope a lot, which I thought was cool. I grew up on the grapple, you know. And also in this film, towards the end of part 2, he goes back to the original bat symbol, where it was just a bat across his chest, like he originally had in the comics. Like when he debuted, just a bat across his chest. That's after he had like the. Actually, no, that was at the end of the first one, I think, when he went back to the just the bat across his chest, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember, but I know he goes back to wearing just the bat across his chest, the yellow around like Superman. But yeah, these were very entertaining films, and I would highly recommend this. This is my review for Batman, The Dark Knight Returns Part 1, and the Batman, The Dark Knight Returns Part 2. And they also had these films available, like I think in a complete package. I think it's like the complete thing. I think both of them together, cause I saw like on Amazon, I think they had like both of them like completed together or whatever. Like a complete, like it's like a complete disc, but I think with both films on it, because it has like a cool Batman cover on it too, where he's like posed like some kind of way. But yeah, these were like very entertaining. You know what I'm saying? I would highly recommend these. And this is my review for, like, once again, Batman: The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and Batman: The Dark Knight Returns Part 2. And these were the Blu-ray editions. You know what I'm saying? Very entertaining films, and I would highly recommend these. See you guys.